Hey, check it out, guys. She's starting to look chaotic and a little scary here. We got stuff laying all over the place. We've got the gas tank off finally. It was a real bitch getting that gas tank off. Problem with the gas tank not wanting to come off was the fact that it was, when I pulled back on it, couldn't get it back far enough to get it off the mounts here because the way the gas tank's designed was hitting this bracket right here for the coils. This is where the coil hooks on, this bracket, and the gas tank was hitting right on that. It wouldn't come back far enough. Of course, enough jiggling and yanking on it, I finally got it to buckle a little bit there and come clear. I read the manual. The manual didn't say anything about having any problems like that. It basically just said you take the back bolt out of the tank so you can lift it up. You disconnect your hoses, disconnect 2 wires from the vent, and lift the tank up and pull it back, and that was supposed to be good enough to, the tank should have slid off. But contrary to what the book said, this particular problem with it hitting on the brackets for the coil is a problem, and was a problem. And those I thought I could loosen those brackets up and then shove the brackets and coils back, but those brackets are welded right onto the frame so they don't move. So it is a bit of an issue, and all they're doing is hold the coils. They don't need to be as strong as they are. It's overkill. So I think I'm going to grind the edges off a little bit in front where it hits the tank when I pull the tank back. So the next time I take the tank off or go to put the tank on even might be a problem, but if I do that little bit of grinding, I should be able to get that tank off a lot easier next time around. I'm still having issues with spark. I've got power. I've got no spark. I've got no ignition. I turn the ignition on, and I've got the battery cables and everything hooked up. Of course, I've got my gauges and everything disconnected and lights, so I don't see anything to indicate that I have, any kind of power or anything there. The only thing I do see is that when I turn the ignition on and I have the battery connected and everything grounded, I do see that the tail light does come on the way it's supposed to. It shows me, yeah, there is ignition there, and this ignition switch is a little bit worn here too. No problem with that for some reason or other. Okay, the ignition switch was on. Now it's on. Right now I've got, for some reason right now I don't have any. When I was connecting my ground back here, I was getting, the light was coming on, but that's when I had the battery sitting in there. Now I'm just going directly down to, directly on the cables like that. There's no problem either to, I can't get it to start for the switch up here. This might be where we have an issue. But anyway, I can actually crank it like that. So I don't know if when the switch is pushed on the unit here for on, whether these 2 wires are supposed to connect or be disconnected. I don't know if it opens the circuit or closes the circuit. So I've been trying both. They popped off. They need to be soldered back onto the switch. But I wasn't messing around too much with that. I figured, just touch the wire together would be the same result, but that doesn't appear to be doing the trick, and I just tried them now with those apart, and that doesn't seem to be doing the trick. So there is an issue there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set a battery back in. Now I'm going to head it in over there. That's the newest battery. It must be shorted or something, because when I had it in here and I was cranking, with the cables connected to it, the battery was getting hot. I disconnected and I could feel the battery was warm. It's like, wow, that shouldn't be warm like that, but it was. So I'm going to take this other battery I have over here and hope that maybe if I put that in, that'll solve that issue. That's probably not going to give me spark or make me start, but at least I don't have to worry about my cables coming off and shorting out on anything down there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give it another go. Then I'm going to grab the book. I have a book. If I don't get it figured out, grab the book, look at the wiring chart, and see where all the possible issues could be with the ignition to cause me not to get spark. The book has a nice wiring diagram with all that stuff in it, so I'll check that out and I'll let you know when I find out.